Hi guys and welcome back to the channel. Today we have a new release from the brand Longines. This is their new Conquest model. Now I've reviewed a couple of the Conquest models. The very first one I reviewed when I first started the channel I really wasn't a big fan of. It had the big bulky crown guards. They were supposed to simulate the wings, Longines wings, but honestly I was never that much of a fan of it. And then a couple of years ago I got to review the newer one. The newer one actually was a very nice watch, but it was pointed out that the dial did have some round, some square markers on there, and it could have been a little bit tidier. This one, I think they have done a really good job on. It really does look like a gentleman's sports watch. There's something about this one I really like. The strap as well, as I say, I've gone for the silicone for the review because it has a nice little party piece on there. And overall, it just feels like a nice watch. But before I get too far into this review, I've got to say a massive thank you to the team over at First Class Watches of Kenilworth for allowing me to review this piece. Lots of cool, kind of interesting brands. As you know, I've always got something different on the channel. So I'd strongly recommend, if you're in the Midlands area, to pop into the shop and have a look. If you're a little bit further afield, well, don't worry, I'll leave a link in the description and at the bottom of the page. Now, all I ask is that you do mention the channel, as you never know, you might get a discount. So anyway, let's talk sizes of this one. As mentioned, this is available in two different case sizes. This is a 41mm, but there is also a 38mm version. The thickness of the watch, contrary to what Longines actually states, it's coming in at 11.2mm. A lot of manufacturers do not include the crystal in their measurements, which is a real shame because, you know, it's there, so please include it. Often they'll say case size, and that's true. Crystal they don't include, they just try and make it so they sound better. The lug to lug on this watch, so the longest point across the watch, is a fraction large for a 41mm watch. It's coming in at 49mm, but still on the healthy side of 50. And the strap size on this one is 21mm. The dial it's just got a classy look to it, hasn't it? It's got this sunbursting coming out from the center there. I've got the blue model here, but it is available, I think it's in another 7 different variations or something like that. There are quite a few, but the blue does look classy and cool, I think. I like the way they've broken up the dial a little bit here by just giving it a different surface finish, and it kind of gives the dial a little bit more of an interesting look, I find. And the re-hole out here has got the minute track on there. I really do like the applied hour markers and these lovely polished hands. It's just got a real quality feel about it, let's say. I do like it. One thing I would say though, the loom isn't that strong. After all, this isn't a dive watch. There's loom on the hands and within the applied hour markers at 12369, but the rest have this small loom pip at the base of the actual marker. It still looks really good. We also have a date window down at the 6 o'clock position there, which keeps the symmetry of the dial really well. I always like the applied Longines wings on there. I think it just gives it again a kind of class feel to it. And another point, there's not so much writing. You do have a kind of, it looks like it's, you know, slowly getting less as it comes down. It gives it a good look, I think, a good symmetrical look. So overall, the dial I think looks great. The crystal, sapphire crystal, we have a nice beveling going down into the actual fixed bezel there, and it's got a decent amount of AR coating on both sides of the watch. Many brands, yes, I'm talking about you, Hamilton, in the background there, don't really bother, but you can see the difference. You know, if I've got this watch here, you can see how much reflection it's picking up versus that one there. Yeah, it just picks up all the light, and the Longines does a really good job of stopping that just with good AR coating. Now, past this, we have this fixed, very shiny bezel. Looks very good on there. We have a very nice case. It's a little bit long at 49, I would say, but it still looks quality. From the front here, it has an almost Rolex kind of look about it with the lugs and so forth. They've just done a tidy job. There's nothing really stands out, but there's nothing to really, you know, kind of nothing hurts, if that makes sense, on there. We've got we've got brushwork going on the top of the lugs there. Nice polishing around the side. Crown guards on the side, but not too big that you can't actually get to the crown. The crown is signed after all. Screw down crown. You do get 100 meters of water resistance with this model. And the good thing is, many brands will tell you, let's say, a watch is 50 meters or 30 meters water resistant. And everyone seems to think that you can take your watch down to that kind of depth. Well, 9 times out of 10, you simply cannot. But Longines and a few of the others, think Amiga as well, if it says it's got 100 meters of water resistant, it is perfectly okay for swimming and snorkeling, as to is 30 meters on this. So it's good to see manufacturers doing that, because it's caused so much confusion. We've had watches in where, you know, someone's gone swimming with a 30-meter watch and then wondered why there's water got inside their watch. And the simple fact is, a manufacturer normally will not cover that under warranty because you didn't read the small print, and that generally will say it's not suitable for swimming. The only thing I would say, if you are taking your watch in the sea, it's always good to wash it out with fresh water, well, under a tap basically, because if there's salt build up somewhere on the watch, you can actually get problems later down the line. As I say, screw down crown, comes out nicely, no problem at all. Obviously, this is a, you know, quality hacking movement. As we turn around to the back, we're greeted with a lovely display case going on back there. This is, well, the movement here is the L888, which is based on an ETA movement. I think it's around about a 2892. It could be. But they slow the beat rate down, and they do give it basically anti-magnetic properties and a longer power reserve. I'm thinking of, I was losing it then. So the power reserve on this watch is 72 hours, so a really long power reserve, but you do get a slightly slower beat rate. It's a 21 joule movement. Now this one actually has a silicon hairspring, which you know, as pointed out on their website, gives it anti-magnetic properties. But when I first put this on the time grapher, I just thought I'll see what it does. Yeah, it was doing. I think it was coming out around about +4, +5. And I thought, well, what the heck? Let's just try and demag it and see if it improves. And then it went down to +1.52. So it just goes to show, even though you've got a silicon balance spring back there, it doesn't mean that the rest of the watch can't become magnetized. So do be aware of that when you know, just because you hear your watch has got heavy anti-magnetic properties, don't go sticking a magnet on it, whatever you do. So anyway, the strap is so lovely and pliable, and it has this fold over clasp there. Now, you'll get some people say, well, I can never get these to fit just right. Well, they've got you covered, because you notice we have got a small button here. If I press down that button, you have micro adjustment, and it is really, really good. Let's see if I can do that a little bit better. If I press this in, let's see how much movement we can actually get. Look how much micro adjustment you have. That is superb and better than any bracelet, because you're not relying on indents. This one does fit, I think this is just a friction fit. Let me put this on my wrist and you've got an idea how it looks. Quick wrist check. I'm wearing my Zin 103, the vintage reverse panda. And as I say, Bob has got the new Hamilton car key going on there. Lovely looking watch. Let's put this on. My wrist size is 7¼ inches. That works out about 18.5 centimeters, give or take. And that is it on my wrist. I think it looks really good. It's definitely a quality watch. The RIP on this is, I think they state £1,800 for the silicon strap model here, £2,000 if you want it on a bracelet. But first class watches always offer a discount, so you will get it less than that if you do contact them. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed the review, and most importantly, you'll stay safe up there. Take care. Bye.